This is Meet the Wolfpack. I'm Sports Information Officer Larry Reed, and we're joined by the starting shortstop of the TRU Wolfpack baseball team, Brendan Reed. I'm R-E-A-D. He is R-E-I-D. Did people ever ask, are we related? I never get that, though.
You know, I have got the question a couple of times, and I'll explain. At first, I'll make a cheap joke about, yeah, he's my uncle, but
nice.
Then I explain it's spelled a little differently and whatnot.
Spencer Reed, who was R-E-E-D, who was on the volleyball team last year, had the same thing. He called me his unofficial uncle, so I don't mind being your unofficial uncle.
Yeah, I drop that one sometimes.
Awesome, cool. So you've been here. This is your last year of playing baseball, but you've been here for 3.5 years now?
Yeah, that's correct. Last year ball. So gonna try and make it a good one.
Nice. Are you looking at the season a little differently than you would have when you were in your first or second years?
You know, I think it has changed my perspective a little bit. I realize it's my last year. I'm trying not to put too much pressure or anything, just enjoying it for what it is and taking every moment in, kind of thing.
Nice. Are you hoping that, obviously you're hoping to win a CCBC championship to go out, but as well, have you set any personal goals for yourself?
No, not really any personal goals. Just, I'd like to bring home a championship for TRU, and I think we got the guys to do it this year.
How does someone from Calgary wind up in Kamloops playing baseball and going to university?
Actually, it was Frank Ingram, a former coach here. Mm-hmm. He coached me for a couple years in high school, and he told me all about the program and whatnot and suggested I come here, and it's been fantastic.
Nice. You started your collegiate and post-secondary educational career, if that's a word, in Arizona. How did that happen and that transpire?
I had kind of put myself out there a little bit, and a couple of coaches in high school had kind of spread the word for me, and I went down to a junior college in Arizona for a year and a half, and it didn't work out. But then made the switch to TRU through Frank Ingram, and I had been introduced to Ray a couple of times, and it's worked out great.
Have you always been a shortstop, Brendan?
No, I haven't. I played a little bit of everything growing up, and then in high school I was a catcher, and catcher all through high school, and then since I came to TRU, kind of made the switch to shortstop and been playing shortstop ever since.
That's a big switch, isn't it? Oh, hey, you got to run now.
Yeah.
But the whole concept, was it a big adjustment for you?
Yeah, it was. I kind of, it took me a little while to get my bearings out there. It's a little different. You're almost on the other side of the ball. Different viewpoint of the game and everything, but I feel like I'm starting to get used to it.
The lateral movement that you have to do as a shortstop, and obviously as a catcher, you kind of got to do that to coming out of the batter's box. Was that something that maybe helped you a little bit as you switched positions?
I'm sure it did help me a lot. Shifting weight back and forth, you're always reacting to the ball, trying to beat the ball to where it's going to be, and similar ideas.
Growing up, did you have an idol? Were the Blue Jays your team, and B, who was your idol as a Major League Baseball player?
I think I've got to say the Blue Jays have always been my team. Got to stick with the Canadian team. My idol, that's a tough one. I've always been. It's funny now that I'm a shortstop because I've always been a big fan of Derek Jeter.
Right.
And then looking at the Blue Jays, John McDonald, I always admired him.
Right. He's very good defensively.
Yeah, he's got a great glove. You'll see that guy on the highlight reel once a week.
It's funny you mentioned Derek Jeter because at the time we're doing this interview, I'm putting together the baseball media guide, and you can see that online, by the way. I'll put a plug in there a little bit. Everybody, or a great majority of your teammates, put Derek Jeter as the person they would most like to meet. Why is that, do you think?
I can answer that in a lot of ways. Derek Jeter, he's gotten a lot of publicity around this time just because obviously his career's come to a close. But a lot of people would say he's the face of baseball. He's such a professional. He's a real class act. Everybody will say it about him who knows him personally that he's such a hard worker. He's given it his all. Class act, professional, treats everybody with respect. And I think he's somebody that everybody could idolize and try to be like that.
And coming out of the steroid situation, he's a good face to have, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. He's a what's the word for it?
Good role model.
Yeah, he's a baseball purist. I guess I could say.
Speaking of baseball, who would be the face of baseball at TRU? Obviously, I guess it would be Ray Chadwick, but among your teammates.
Ray Chadwick is what I was going to say. Among the teammates, Geez, I don't know. I don't think I can pick one guy out.
Is there a character? And you've got a big team. Like there's like 40 guys on your team. Is there a couple of characters that keep you guys loose in the dressing room and in the dugout?
A couple of characters. Yeah, there's oh man. I'd say everybody's a character. It's hard to pick a few guys out because everybody's so different and so diverse. And I think that's what brings everybody together.
Yeah, you do come together. Can you tell me a little bit about the family atmosphere? Because I think when I came here 6 years ago, baseball was like that. Now all the other teams are similar, but there's just something special about the baseball team. Can you tell me a little bit about that family thing?
Yeah, it really becomes a family, and I think it's because we just spend so much time together. Like, for example, right now in the off season, we're practicing twice a day, every single day of the week. And you're spending so much time with these guys. And then during the season, we're on the road a lot, full weekends. It's just, you're with these guys all the time, and you begin to just become a family, and it's pretty cool. Tell
me about the whole school aspect, because as you know, as we all know, university, student athlete, how do you balance it off?
It's tough. It really is a privilege to be a student athlete, and you can't take it for granted. But it does get really busy. It's tough to balance it because it requires a lot of time management. You're running to practice, you got to head straight to class, you got to pack lunch for the day in the morning and whatnot. So it gets pretty busy, but it teaches you a lot of good skills, time management, things like that. I think it really makes you mature.
How do you feel being a role model, especially this year? I'm sure that there's some new guys to the program. You feel that you have to take them under your wing, and as you do that, you kind of pause a little bit and go, you know what? I remember when I was a first year, and Joe Blow or whoever kind of took me under their wing.
Yeah, exactly. I try to keep that in perspective. Of when you were one of the younger guys, you're looking up to the third and fourth year players. I want to be like those guys. So it makes you think about that a little bit, and you really got to lead by example, and accept the younger guys into the family, and everybody feels comfortable.
Speaking of family, when you play in Calgary and Lethbridge, your family comes to see you. Is it a little more pressure filled for
you? Sometimes it does. Yeah, the Calgary games and the Lethbridge, the family comes out. Of course you want to play well and. Yeah. Show the family what you've been working so hard to do and whatnot, but they're going to be proud of you either way.
Awesome. Just before we let you go, words of advice. Somebody wants to join look at TRU to come and play baseball, but specifically as well to go to university. What words of advice would you give them? What should they keep in mind?
I would say if you're looking to play baseball after high school in Canada, TRU is where you want to go. Ray Chadwick is a fantastic coach. He knows the game. Come to TRU, and it's such a family with the baseball team, and the guys will bring you up from your first year to your last. Ray will have you under his wing, and you can even look at the guys, the fourth years now, from their first year, they've made huge jumps in the players they are on the field and the men they've become off the field.
Brendan Reed joins us, the starting shortstop of the TRU Wolfpack baseball team.